Hi everyone and welcome. Today we'll be making Dosti roti, and it's also known as two-in-one roti, and that's because there's two loaves that are stuck together, rolled out, cooked, and when it's time to eat, it's pulled apart and you get two different extremely thin rotis. So let's get into this recipe. So here I've got 3 cups of all-purpose white flour. I've got water to knead the dough. There's no precise measurement because each brand of flour is different, and even your climate affects how much water you need. I've got about a teaspoon of baking powder. I've got some sort of grease. Depends on how many loy and how big or small you're gonna make them. You'll need grease, so I'm using oil depending on how many pairs of roti you make. And you'll need dry flour for dusting and sticking the two loy together. So here, this is how we'll knead the flour. We'll add our baking powder in and just mix this, and we'll slowly start adding our water until it forms a proper dough. Okay, so when you're done kneading your flour and it comes together like this, you're just going to dip a little bit of oil on your hand, and you're just going to coat the top until everything is nicely coated so that it remains soft, and you're going to let this rest for anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. So when it comes time to make your individual loy, you're going to make them actually quite small. Dip them just one side in the flour, and you're just going to pinch with your in between your thumb and your index finger, and you're going to gather everything into the center, and you're going to pinch like this, and there you have one smooth ball of dough. And you're going to rub this in the flour again, and now this is ready, and you're going to make as many as you can, but make sure that it's an even number. Okay, so I made all the loaves, and now I'm just going to flour my surface and grab 2 of them, and I'll just flatten them out like this. Just both of them have to be flattened to the same size. Okay, and now we'll brush some of our oil onto the first side, of both of the loy, flattened loy, and then some flour just on top, and we'll take one loy and we'll spread it on top of the other, and then join the edges. And here we're just going to prepare our tawa. It's on medium heat, and we'll just brush a little bit of oil on it. And we're going to roll out our dosi roti very thin. So just going to make sure it doesn't stick, and we're going to start rolling it out very thinly. So here I've rolled it very thin and just slightly bigger than the tawa itself, and right now it's about 1 millimeter thick, so it's extremely thin, and actually when you pull out the 2 rotis it's going to be even thinner. So now that the tawa is greased and hot, we're going to pick up the roti, and we're just going to put it down on one side. Okay, and so now that the roti is cooking, and the first side is done cooking and the second side is already starting to appear less raw. We're going to brush some oil on it just to coat the first side. And you'll notice some bubbles coming up. So using your dablas, you're going to just turn it over. And we're going to spread oil on the second side as well. Can you see it's starting to swell on the side? So we're going to turn it over. And we're going to, we don't have to oil it on this side, but we're just going to let the second side get a little brown like this. Now that this side's got a nice coloring, we're just going to fold it. So you just take the roti from one side and bring both the edges together, and then fold it into a quarter. And this roti is done. You could place it in your little tray lined with a newspaper, paper towel. And we're just going to repeat. So I'm going to show you one more time. Just after placing it down, we're going to grease the first side with oil. Just a light coating. And then when we start seeing the bubbles coming up, and they all come up around the same time, so that's how you know that the roti is ready to be turned over. I'm going to turn it over and grease the second side. And this side will start to swell if you just block where air can escape. As soon as you see it's going to start to swell and you get some coloring on the second side, you're going to turn it over again. And this time, the third turn, it's supposed to swell completely if you cover the holes. And that's how you know that the roti is basically done. Okay, so here are all of our Dosti rotis. I'm going to open one up and show you. So it looks something like this, and then you'll see at the end here there'll be this kind of fold, and you open it up and you get two paper thin rotis inside. So you could even see your hand through the two rotis. And this is what happens when you knead when you actually roll out the two loaves joined together nice and thin, and then when it comes time to eat, you get two extremely thin rotis. So you can eat this however you like. And thanks for watching. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, because I do post new videos every Saturday.